Today we're continuing our How to Build a Map from Scratch series. If you want to watch part 1, you can go watch part 1 right now. There's a link in the description below. In today's video, we tackle a number of things. One is, how do you come up with ideas for levels? What do you do when you kind of run out of ideas? Some building tips. And then I ran into a problem that totally threw off my entire map, and I had to come up with a solution to solve that. So this turned into a different video than I was expecting to do at the beginning of the day because of this huge problem, but it ended up being a really good illustration of what it's like to be a map maker and how you can push through problems. I hope you enjoy this video. Be sure to leave a comment below if this is still interesting to you. If you want me to do another series with this, like maybe making an escape room or an adventure map, I always like to hear from you guys. And if you have any ideas for levels that you want in this map, let me know in the comments below as well. All right, guys, enjoy. All right, let's get back into building our map. So I like to think of building a map in 3 stages. There's the beginning phase, there's the middle phase, and there's the end phase. They each kind of have their own challenges. The first phase is really just starting and getting your map moving along. Sometimes that step is really hard. My tip there is to just start building. You'll be surprised at how much you'll get done just by starting, and ideas will flow and you'll start to like get into your map a lot more. The end phase is challenging too because you've kind of built all of your ideas out, and then it's just those final touches that you think should go quickly, but it takes a while to get the final touches, do the testing and all of that stuff as well. So I feel like sometimes that's the hardest step, is just finishing it out. The mid stage is what we're focusing on today, and the mid stage has its own challenges as well. Here we've got the first 2 stages that we've built in our dropper. If you haven't watched the video yet of me building stages 1 and 2, you can go to the link in the description below and watch that. But we've got our first 2 stages, and now I want to build 5 more stages that you fall through. And this can be a challenge sometimes because I have no idea what those 5 stages are gonna look like. I know I want like a lava level with lava falling as you fall past it. And I probably want to do a level using the new dark tilted prefabs and galleries. But other than that, I haven't decided at all what my levels are going to be. And this is the point where a lot of people can really get hung up in making a map. So let's decide right now together what we're going to do for the 5 levels. So one's gonna be the lava, one's gonna be like a dark tilted Gotham type theme. We need 3 more. So how do we come up with these ideas? One thing I love to do is throw down prefabs and galleries to get inspiration. Like, is this gallery gonna inspire me? I mean, we can do another castle type, but we've already kind of got that in our level 2. We could also do like a Pandora type style, but I already did a dropper in another map using the Pandora style stuff, and I don't know if I want to build another dropper with that with those same prefabs. You know, like a door dropper could be cool, so I'm gonna hit equip on that. Oh, guys, I have an idea for a level that could be really cool using the farm parts gallery. Here's my idea with the farm parts gallery. So I just want to use this tube. I'm gonna make it big, and then probably what I'm gonna do is have it like 2 separate droppers. So remember, at the bottom of level 2, I have 2 options. You can go in this hole or that hole, and it takes you to 2 different teleporters. But I would love it to have like the tubes that you fall down and they kind of crisscross, and maybe they open up into the same area at the bottom or something like that. That could be a fun, different dropper that I haven't really seen done before. So you'd be falling down through the pipes like this. Okay, that's a solid level. Okay, so that'll be my level 3, I think. Sometimes when I'm building a map, I like to write down on a sticky note my ideas so that I don't forget them. So I'm writing down for level 3, I'm gonna be using the farm tubes for that level. I think I want my lava level to be more like level 6 or 7 or something like that. So I've just written that down. Let's look at the doors real fast. Okay, so what I'm doing here is just kind of messing around with the doors to see what it would look like if I had a full wall of giant doors. And I think it's starting to look kind of cool. I think it might be kind of cool to fall through a whole dropper with something that looks like that. So let's make a level about that, and maybe you have to avoid doors as you're falling down as well. Okay, we need 2 more levels, and one I wanted to use the dark tilted building structures, and just looking at these prefabs has given me an idea. So here's my idea. Let's throw out this prefab, and I think what I want to do is like have like a big Roman type dropper using these columns, and the columns will be super tall, and you'll have to avoid different columns and stuff like that. I think that could be really fun. So I'll probably make that my level 4, and then the doors level 5, And then I still need to figure out my last level. Okay, I was struggling a lot with this last level, and I was looking through a lot of galleries, a lot of prefabs, and I started looking through the devices actually, and had a really fun idea. I was originally looking at doing like a full bumper level or something like that, but then I saw the billboard. So I thought it could be really fun to throw out a billboard and have a message on it that you're following past, like, die, 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 die. That may be a little bit morbid, but I think it's kind of fun as you're falling past a bunch of words saying die, 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 die. So that'll be my 7th level, the die level. Okay, now we finished what I think is the hardest part of the middle stage, just figuring out what you're gonna build. Now all we have to do is build it. Okay, let's just build this sequentially. So we're gonna start with our farm tubes level. Okay, so what I've done here, guys, is just built out some simple structures to help guide me where I place my teleporters. So I want my teleporters to be at the very top of the max height so I can maximize my dropper. So I often will use, just the simple wood blocks to help guide me where I'm placing things. So this teleporter is set up on group B, and it's gonna teleport you when receiving from channel 2. And then this teleporter is group C, and it teleports to when receiving from channel 3. That way, if someone on this level falls through this hole, they go to the teleporter on the left, and then if they fall through this one, they'll go to the teleporter on the right. All right, let's start placing our tubes. So for this piece, I'm gonna make sure my grid snap is on 16 so that I can be a little bit more precise. Okay, so I've been placing these little pieces for a little bit and just thought of one little tip. So this grid snap is on 16, so they're a little bit harder to place. One thing you should know is that when you're placing things, you can see like when they're like lined up. You see how it just highlighted right there? It looks, the light blue on the circle is a little bit more highlighted. That means it's like lined up perfectly. So let's see if we can do it again right here. Right there. That is lined up. So that's just a little thing that some people might not know. That's how you know when things have lined up properly. Okay, guys, I've just learned a disturbing fact about teleporters. They take away fall damage. So when you warp to the top of this level and you fall here, like there's no fall damage when you fall down there. So I'm gonna have to make some adjustments to my levels to make this still work. Maybe I'm gonna have to put in some like death barriers to where if you get even close to this, you die. Okay guys, so this is one important part of map making. When you run into problems like this, you try to figure out the solution. I went through a lot of different solutions in my head. I was thinking I could either set up traps so that if you hit certain things it kills you, or you hit death barriers, but it just didn't have the feel that I wanted for this map. So I had to get kind of creative with devices. So here's what I ended up doing. I set up this barrier device right here that's invisible, and it covers the entire area here. So basically, if you fell through and this trigger wasn't here, you would be standing at the top of this dropper. But when you come through the teleporter, you land on the barrier and hit this trigger, so it immediately disables the barrier, but it re-enables the fall damage. And then the player falls through these triggers, which re-enables the barrier in case they die or they loop back through this level in the future. I want that barrier to re-enable. Let's look at the barrier settings I have here. It is set to invisible, it's got the size that it needs, and then it disables when receiving from channel 75, and it enables when receiving from channel 74. Now I chose the super high numbers so that I could keep track of what are barrier setups and what are also the triggers for teleporters. I kind of wanted those numbers to be really far separated so that I don't get confused at which ones are for which levels. All right, let's test this to make sure it works. Okay, we're falling straight through and we're not even gonna try and dodge the bridge. There, see, so there's that little hitch, but it starts the next dropper so that I can have fall damage. I should mention that one thing I did figure out as I was going through testing on this is that when I fell straight through and landed on the barrier, I was looping back through this teleporter because I had the teleporter target group as A as well. So I made it so that there's no target group on this teleporter so that once I come through, you can't go back in through it. It was just kind of resetting the fall damage even with my whole mechanism setup. But now it works! I'm actually really glad we ran into a problem like this in our video because it really shows that map making isn't as straightforward as you think it would be. You run into problems all the time, and the best map makers are the ones that push through those problems and get their maps done. Sometimes you have to get really creative and think outside the box. So unfortunately, I've kind of run out of time today to finish the levels, but in the next video, we'll do all of our levels and try and finish out the map and then publish it so you guys can play it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you're looking for more tips on building, you can click the link right here. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. All right, guys, I hope this video helped you a little bit, and we'll see you later.